Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Pregame Show presented by PointsBet. Use that promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Summertime shy, back in full effect. The heat is on. Herrera's back in the building.
I'm here. I made it.
Del Mendo's here.
With a fresh haircut, too.
Thank you. Yeah, I needed it. I got tired of wearing a hat.
I'm actually on this.
I was sweating so much because of my hair and having to wear a hat because of my hair. Guys, at least appearance-wise, I feel like I'm at peak performance right now.
Peak performance.
I am at peak performance
You
right
scootered here today, too.
I scootered here, yes. I did. It was a beautiful day.
Did they have to hose you down when you got here? It's a little steamy for the scooter.
Nah. I did bring in another shirt just in case. I know Jay Zawoski is one of those guys. I believe that's what's the talk around the office.
We're all one of those guys when it's 98 degrees.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah, kind of have to be.
Yeah. But, tonight or today I came in, felt okay. Nice little breeze. It's warm out there, but it's not like miserable like it was in the middle of last week.
You going to scooter tomorrow?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, man.
That's probably going to be bad, but again,
we're
going to bring another shirt, bring the deodorant tomorrow. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we'll be spending like an hour and a half in traffic.
Yeah,
again.
but air-conditioned traffic,
True.
hopefully. Ryan, that's the big difference. So Cubs and Pirates starting up. I got to say, if you'd have told me 5 days ago the Cubs were going to win a series against the Braves, I thought they were going 13-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So Friday was surprising. Saturday was shocking. And then, okay, not a sweep, but still 2 out of 3 against the Braves. Are you at least happy with that?
Yeah. Would I have liked to see a sweep? Yes. Do I hate when the Cubs have a chance to sweep and they don't sweep? Yes. It doesn't matter if they're 16 under 500 or not.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, they won a series against a team that was scorching hot. Who knows? Yeah. We're going to see if they're still scorching hot tonight. As far as the Braves, I think they play another hot team. I think they're home to a really good team, at least. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But as far as the Cubs,
Giants.
Giants. Yes, that's who. And, so as far as the Cubs, though, you love to, as far as the present, the moment, in the future, you'd love to see Thompson and Steele go out there and show some growth. Love to see, trade value for certain guys increase. Wilson Contreras continues to, be the best offensive catcher in the game. And, the only downfall of the weekend really was Kyle Hendricks. So,
yeah, I don't know what to make of him, but interesting because now they play the Pirates and everybody's like, yeah, improve some of the stats against the Pirates. They're ahead of the Cubs in the standings, so let's simmer down on making fun of the Pirates. I was on that ship earlier, but now they've made me walk the plank a little bit.
The Pirates,
Ooh,
people ask us like, who's going to be who's going to be the Cubs leader, like going into next year, and like we all are sitting here believing that Contreras is gone. At least the Pirates have a guy. Like Brian Hayes is a stud.
And they just called up O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, and he's like their top prospect, right?
He's supposed to be a stud too.
Yeah.
They
honestly, in the present moment, they look like they have a better outlook than the Cubs, which is, it just should not ever be a thing, honestly, with the way they run their organization compared to how the Cubs should be running their organization.
Yeah. I just remember preseason, we did our rankings, and basically everyone was Cubs third. Contreras obviously was number 1 catcher, and he's proved it, but I think we all thought Cubs were comfortably third in the division, and the Cardinals and the Brewers were all up here. Pirates and Reds were way down here.
At almost every position other than catcher.
Yeah, and then you kind of just the first 66 games or whatever it is in the season just hasn't worked out that way.
Yeah.
It's
Jack R still thinks they're sweeping the Pirates, see?
4-game sweep.
Ravi's waiting for a 16-game winning streak. Get them back to 500.
And as Brendan would say, they're only 16 games under 500, so sweep 4, then you only got to win 12 more.
Yeah, like roughly 3 weeks of nothing but winning.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're right back in this thing.
Yeah.
There were some roster moves because they had to get the pitchers down down from 13, right?
Yep.
And so Adrian Sampson goes back to Iowa. Nelson Velasquez comes back to, I guess, pinch hit because he's not in the lineup.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to talk about the lineup too much, but if he's coming up, why not play the guy?
Let's start with Adrian Sampson. I guess he was the bright spot of yesterday.
Yeah.
He pitched very well yesterday in relief for Kyle Hendricks. So a lot of people are like, well, why are we sending him down? Well, first off, he probably wasn't going to pitch for at least a few days. I do think, I personally think he'll be back anyway. That said, they could have DFA'd him, any of these other guys that we've been complaining about for 2.5 months, 3 months, whatever it is. But I'm just explaining why it was Sampson because I just think the Cubs weren't going to use him for at least for half the week.
Well, it had to be – they had to trim it down to 13 anyway because of the rule. So that I think it kind of made sense when they used Adrian Sampson for 4 2/3 innings. They're going to lose a pitching spot or a spot in the bullpen today. It's like kind of 2 plus 2, right? Like you got to expect that to come. And it could have gone different ways. It could have been, I thought maybe, or one of the ways that I thought it would go was how it went today was Sampson optioned. Nelson Velasquez gets called back up. There's an open spot in the outfield now, I guess. Or it could have gone the DFA route if, like, say, David Bodie was ready to come back from his rehab, which obviously that didn't happen. It's Nelson Velasquez.
But Bodie's closer.
I guess Bodie's closer, and that is likely coming soon. So I'm just curious. Like we saw like Megan Montemurro tweeted out that like Ross said that basically he's gonna Velasquez is going to play the Clint Frazier role, which is pinch hitting whatever, and then gets the at bats against lefties,
aka not playing.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were. As like Clint Frazier wasn't playing all that much, so it's like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, how do you guys feel if Nelson Velasquez plays this role that Clint Frazier had, where he was really playing sparingly, except for a few games in a row when they faced lefties?
Yeah.
I don't think it thrills most people. Again, there's guys on the roster that don't need to be on the roster.
Right. I guess I'm not erupting because I'm just not surprised. Like, that's basically where I'm at. Like, this is what it is until after the deadline. Now, if we get to after the deadline and Nelson Velasquez is not getting regular at-bats, then I'm going to get angry. I mean, I'm already annoyed and angry about it, but I'm kind of like Ryan when it comes to, like, just knowing that Brennan Davis wasn't going to come up until after the deadline before he got hurt this year. Like, I'm just kind of in that boat when it comes to this situation. It's like I knew when I read that news that he was going to come up and basically only play against lefties. We can all all of us in the chat, all three of us sitting here, we can all say that he should probably play every day and just go through the ups and downs of being a major leaguer. But the Cubs want to play Jason Hayward, so.
Well, WRB team on the chat on Facebook or YouTube, they got a question for you. When do you lose respect for Ross or the front office when they continue to play Hayward over more deserving guys? Is that a fair question, Cody?
I think it's fair, and I don't even blame people right now if they are, because from the outside looking in, it is kind of like, it's weird. Like no one can understand why they're doing it. And that's why when me and Ryan are sitting at the table earlier and we're talking about like who is making this call, it's hard to even think that it's David Ross making this call to play Hayward every day. It has to be the front office telling David Ross to play these guys every day because they're trying to get something for them. That's just the bottom line. And that goes back to, my rant about how they said this team was going to be competitive, blah, blah, blah. But also, we're 15, 16 games under 500, so what does it matter? And when I say that, it's like, what does it matter what those guys' value is when you're barely going to really get anything for them anyway? In my opinion, right now, I don't think they're going to get that much. You're going to get the biggest haul from Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ if you trade them. But like VR and Simmons, and if someone actually is interested in Jason Hayward and
Robertson
too. Yeah, those three, Robertson, Happ, and not Hayward, Contreras. Yeah, and you probably get some decent pieces for Givens and Chris Martin too. But as far as VR, Simmons, and Hayward, like the fact that the Cubs believe that they can actually get some sort of significant value for them is just, it's weird. I'm not used to this. I'm like, I don't think Theo would be doing this.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it kind of comes from like Velasquez. Like, this is probably just a cup of coffee because Suzuki's going down to Arizona this week. Ross told us that.
Bodie's Iowa.
Yeah, Bodie's at Iowa. He's going to come back sometime, relatively soon. I guess it seems like the plan is Suzuki's going down to Arizona while they're on the road trip, and then could possibly next week could be a projected return for him from the IL. He's been on there for a while. I haven't heard anything about Hermosillo, so I'm not even going to bring him up. But there's guys on the IL that are going to need a roster spot relatively soon. So maybe it's just Ross or whoever it is. It's like, okay, let's not just switch things up. Like, he's only going to be here for a few games. Like, I don't know if that's even a good argument, but it's like just not switching things up and just letting Hayward play. I'm more concerned, or I'm more curious to see if when Suzuki does come back, is he going to stick with Happ, Morel, Suzuki in the outfield, or is Hayward going to move back over to center and take at bats from Morel? That's what I want to see. And again, we won't know that until Suzuki does come back. But that is gonna something I'm curious to see if and when it happens.
That would be criminal if they take at bats away from Morel. And your point about this is a short stop for Velasquez. I get that, but that makes it even more curious to me. Why wouldn't you play if you're gonna have him here?
Yeah.
Why not play him for the one game? Why not give him the one game experience? Are you afraid that he's going to go 4 for 4 and you're not going to be able to bring up, Bodie? Like, what?
Yeah.
Are you afraid that the fans are going to be like, you got to play him? He had 5 hits last night.
I don't know. I see that.
Don't
point
you
too.
want that?
I see that point to it. I again, this is what we're like. We're
the
all
Cubs
asking
could be
questions.
doing themselves some favors, right? In terms of just PR, just by playing some of these young guys.
This is what we're all asking questions, and we're not getting a ton of answers from. I know Jed, you were begging Jed to talk on Thursday, and he did. This wasn't a specific question, but it's just like there are a lot of things that a lot of question marks that we've been talking about all season. Like, question not even just about players and their abilities, but just how is this gonna run?
Right.
And we're almost halfway through. We're almost halfway through the season now, and it's still kind of all right. Like, we are still not figuring this stuff out. Like, let's kind of get it moving. I don't know. It is very curious and confusing, and I just like Cody said, we talked about it, and we're like, I don't know who's making this call, man.
Well, Theo got mentioned a minute or two ago. We now know that was all part of his, the hanging out in the basket was all part of his goodbye tour to Chicago. He's moving out to the East Coast. He's finally leaving the city.
It was this Ferris Bueller.
Did you see some of the Ferris Bueller stuff? They started the day at Castaways.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, he looks awful happy. Like, there had to be some heavy drinking at Castaways.
I saw that picture.
I've been to Castaways in
my Thai guy
12 years.
My Thai guy tweeted a photo of him and Theo together, and Theo was holding a Miller Lite, and it wasn't in in a hefty
I saw that
cup.
too. He's just
It was an actual Miller Lite can, and I was like, did this guy sneak his own beer in like king? You know what I mean?
You
They
can't
let
really
him do
tell.
whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I said, I wonder if one of the blue hairs or security people out there were like, "Shh, we got a guy in the basket down. And then somebody's like, oh, it's Theo. Never mind.
No, he said in the basket, like he
It was after the game.
He led them to break the curse. Like, you can't really tell Theo Epstein what to do around Wrigley Field anymore. It's Tom Ricketts is the owner, but Theo Epstein is like the owner. You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine if the bracket on the basket gave loose and they had somehow he falls from the basket onto the grass? People are running out there. I could see it going Cub bad.
Yeah,
a million different ways. But I love that they started the day at Castaways, and then they took divvy bikes to their next location.
Then they went to see a show or something after.
Yeah, they went to the Metro afterwards, saw a concert.
It was weird to see how many just random appearances happened last week. Theo, Soriano, all beefy.
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner was there. Robbie Gold. Like, it was everyone was just popping in. And I'm like, what is going on this week? Like, why? Is it the first week of summer or something? Like, it's like, why is everyone here? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was an interesting week outside of all losses.
Exactly. Cody, what are you betting on tonight? You got no basketball to bet on anymore.
Man, yeah, no more
You're
basketball.
pretty much just, you're going to bet Cubs every day?
I'm not betting the Cubs every day, but I am once again betting on the Chicago Cubs tonight because I am high on our guy Caleb Kilian, who we haven't really talked about, but we will eventually after I read this wonderful ad about my favorite app, PointsBet. They're the best way to support CHGO. And if you download the PointsBet app and use code CHGO when you sign up, you can do that right now. You get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. But that's not it, folks. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content, and you even get a free shirt of your choice. Joey, show the
shirt again.
Show the shirt again.
Let me see the swag.
Show the shirt.
Oh,
there it is.
There it is.
That's the stuff.
The new Cubs release.
Look at that.
Go buy it. It's at the CHGO locker.
Got
Hey,
two
Chicago.
other new shirts.
2 other new shirts. We got the Chicago Skyline.
That one's
Southside Bias. I like the
Yeah.
Skyline one quite a
Yeah,
bit.
the Skyline,
awesome.
as I like to say, bangs. And I mean, none of us here are Sox fans, but if you have Sox fans, tell them to go buy the Southside Bias shirt. That's a good shirt as well.
It's gorgeous.
So anyway, if you sign up on PointsBet, subscribe to CHGO, you get a free T-shirt. You get one of those free Cubs shirts right now.
Woo.
What a deal. I'm telling you guys, it is incredible. So anyway, that's $2,000 in free bets, a free CHGO membership, and a free shirt from the CHGO locker, all for making a $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. If you have any questions, you can email PointsBet at allchgo.com, and we'll help you out. You're home for live in-play betting. Just got even better. You see an edge in a game you're watching, Luke?
Yeah. I see an edge?
Yeah.
The game I'm watching?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to give away my who you got. But there's an edge.
Is your favorite team prime for a comeback? Are the Cubs going to win 16 in a row, guys?
I'm not going to go that far.
yeah.
Not going to go that far.
Don't just watch.
You should get the free shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just watch the game. Bet along with it live. More live betting, more live markets, and faster live cash outs. See why consumers say PointsBet has been the fastest with their live bets. Follow along with your bets the moment they hit and stay in the live action all game long. Download the PointsBet app right now and use promo code CHGO. You can download the PointsBet app right now and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. So what are you waiting for? It's time to elevate your live betting game. Once the game starts, don't just bet, live your bet life with PointsBet. If you or someone has a gambling problem and wants to call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services.
Did you do like the if Luke can do it, so can you?
No, that was skipped this time.
Yeah,
I always only do it on the post-game show.
Just the post-game.
I always do it on post-game.
Yeah.
Because I gotta make sure I'm like on key so that when you so can you like celebrate it, you know what I'm saying?
If Luke can do it, everyone can do it.
Hey.
It's literally that easy.
And Ravi says, by the way, Jay Hayes' number should be 43. He always grounds to second base.
Yeah, and Joey says keep doubting him. I got Hayward tonight.
When are we going to get to the point where you can bet on an individual at bat like that quickly? Like what would the odds be on a 4-3 for Hayward?
Oh.
And how fast would you have to make the bet?
Actually, don't you have to? You could bet that, but you have to do like 2 batters ahead, right? Something like that.
I'm not exactly sure on PointsBet.
Maybe we'll figure that out.
Something to
Come
look
back.
into. We're going to have to look into that because
We'll research
I feel
it.
like we could be making some cash.
I feel
on
like
some
I would
grounders
be
to second.
losing so
Nothing
much
else.
cash.
You look into it and you'd be like, listen, I could make money on this at bat. I know where it's going.
Yeah, right. Just bet 4-3 ground out every time. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure on that. I know you can obviously you can live bet the game, but as far as individual at bats, you can do live same game parlays though.
Hayward is an anchor. Robbie's really
Robbie's taking it to
hitting
him.
Jay Hay tonight. Somebody in the chat earlier said Cody looks like a guy from Arizona. I don't know what that means. Like,
I don't know what that means either.
What do guys from Arizona look like?
Koopa Scoop said that.
Do they just like wear tank tops all the time?
Killing me, Smalls.
Tank tops and mohawks?
I don't have a mohawk.
I don't know.
I got the fade going. On the side. I got the fade going.
I was down
right
in
now.
Arizona a couple months ago. I don't know if. I don't know. I think
shorts in a tank would be an appropriate Arizona. I got to tell you, places I'd never want to live is Arizona's high on that list. Too hot.
It's really,
a couple good months in the spring, and that's it. It's a place to visit.
Everyone that all the Ubers I had down there told me that like Arizona is like really hot, like right now, like June, July, August.
Unbearable.
But the other 9 months are like perfect.
Are they?
That's what they said.
I could put up with 3 months of bad.
Well, that's better than 6 months of winter here.
Yeah, that's like 6 months of winter here.
It's like 5 or 6 months of winter, 2 to 3 like very like still not good.
Yeah,
and you like a few weeks, like 6 weeks of like perfect weather.
Well, we haven't broached the subject with the bosses yet, but I would assume we would like to get
someone
an Arizona
needs to like take
CHGO Cubs trip.
Take a side by side of me today next to like a classic Matt Peck, because Matt Peck wears tanks like every day.
So,
Summer Peck. Yeah, we need a side by side of me and Summer Peck, and then we can let everyone like fight it out on who has the better look, I guess. I would vote Summer Peck, but that's just me. But today I am vibing on a Monday.
Well, you have shoes on. He comes in here in flip flops.
Yeah,
that's not
the
you can't go Birks. Come on now, put some shoes on your feet.
I can't.
Nobody wants to see your bunions.
Nope.
Yeah, my feet are ugly. That's why I wear shoes all the time.
I almost never wear flips. Nobody wants to see my feet.
Yeah,
no, I don't even want to see my own.
And
feet.
if I don't wear shoes, I just wear my Nike slides. So, still rocking Nike no matter what.
Yeah.
All right.
The guys with the foot fetish thing, I don't really understand it.
And I hate to say it, but I am a socks and sandals guy. Like because I hate my feet that much. But I never do that in the summer though, because like it's too hot to be wearing socks with sandals. But if I were to come in here, I am not showing 50+ viewers my feet. I'm just not doing it.
If you've been on that scooter, now they're just all full of city soot and dust and sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, what we would have to smell up here would just be...
I think we got off topic.
Unbearable. All right. Who you got?
Who you got?
We know who New York Joey got.
The standings are not in my favor. I have a longer my losing streak's got to be 2 weeks long at this point.
Do you have the leaderboard right now?
Oh, yeah. Here, I can bring it up.
I haven't won one. Potentially in June, I haven't won.
Yeah.
I'm on a Cub-like losing streak.
All right,
I believe it is. Okay, so I have it up. I lead 10-7 to 5, and Ryan has 7, and Luke has 5.
He's doubled up on me.
10-7. I have 7.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going Kilian tonight. What would you like to see out of Kilian? Last time we just said a quality start. Yada yada yada.
Definitely a better start than his last one.
Well, that was his worst one. The command just was not there, and I was thinking about it, like why he's had great command in the minors. Like that's one thing you can say. He's got good stuff, but he's always had good command. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. So I'm going to chalk that up in his second start and a little bit of his one inning of his first start. That's rookie nerves. Like that's a guy that's overthrowing a little bit, that's amped up a little bit, and maybe by now the third start, it's on the road. There's a little less pressure. You're not at Wrigley Field. Maybe that comes off, and I think tonight's the night he has his first really, really good start.
Yeah, and it was also like his second start was like hot and humid and brutal. I don't know what it's like in Pittsburgh right now.
It was unbearable that night.
So that definitely didn't like help.
Right.
You just want to see because he's a guy that before like some of these upticks in velocity was just like a control command guy.
Yeah.
And obviously what we saw on, was it Wednesday or Thursday? I don't remember which day it was. What we saw that day was obviously not what Caleb Kilian has been in the minor leagues, been just.
It was
Wednesday.
It was the day that they lost 19-5.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. He became the non-story that night.
So it's in the 60s in Pittsburgh right now. So better.
Oh, perfect.
Better weather.
Perfect throwing weather.
So I think you can expect him, like you said, maybe rookie nerves played a part in it, but I think you should expect him to have a little more command, have taken these four days in between starts and really looked at video, really looked at just like mechanics and stuff like that, just to see what was off outside of maybe just command. Here's New York Joey.
New York Joey.
NYRK.
NYRK. We haven't started it yet, but we're working on it.
Yeah. So I think.
Hey, welcome to NYRK.
I think the expectation is just better command, better control. quality start would be nice to see out of him, but I just getting back to the things that he does really well is what I think would be the biggest hope for today.
Yeah, I'm just asking for not nearly as many walks. I think he'll have a good start if he just doesn't walk as many guys. I'm getting weird though with my who you got tonight. Going with Jonathan VR. He is batting .571 against JT Brubaker. I'm betting on him tonight. Get two plus total bases. I said it on CHGO Bets Daily. It could be a double. It can be 2 singles. He actually had a good weekend. He had a big 2-out RBI, 2 RBI single, I believe, in the first inning on Saturday. Not so much yesterday, but the entire Cubs offense wasn't good yesterday, so take that with what you will. Again, I am trying to will his trade value up as much as possible. I am trying to will it up.
Like, if we got a VR choice of the
this
of
would,
the who
for
you got?
me at least, is my. It has to be.
It has
to be.
If we're being honest, like it's been besides like maybe starting pitchers now and then, it's like the same 3 or 4
Nick
people.
G, VR, all caps. Is Cody feeling okay? Could be heat stroke. He was on that scooter a long time.
Listen, I understand.
Tank top or not, he was on that scooter a long time.
He's batting 6th tonight, so he's going to be in the middle of the order. He's going to have guys on base. Again, this is the Pirates, and I know the Pirates are ahead of the Cubs in the division, but let's be real, like pretty even teams here. The money line for this game was like very even. They're both like -115 or something. So it's like Vegas thinks this game's going to be close.
Split.
Yes,
they got a lot of VRs on their team too.
I'm going Hap, man. I'm going Hap. 313, hitting 313 and 16 at bats versus JT Brubaker. Hap's had a great June. I think he extended.
He also
today.
loves hitting in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think
because that's where he's from.
I mean, nobody's taking Contreras.
I got to see what his.
I mean,
nobody's taking Contreras, and let's see, Jack and some of the guys on the chat are all saying Nico's the guy this series.
Nico's been kind of slumping of late. Maybe it'd be good for him to go out there.
Not that we don't want Contreras. I think we just kind of
just too easy.
Yeah, I think we just kind of pick Contreras.
Trying to up the game.
It's kind of like how I was taking Morel. Like I took Morel like 4 consecutive days last week. There was a point where whoever got Suzuki was going to win. Who you got?
Right.
Taking a pitcher has not worked out well for me.
It has not. I hope you break that streak tonight.
It has not worked out well for me. So will maybe I should get Horner as like a backup.
Yeah, perhaps
as a backup plan that I could switch to in the 3rd inning if I need to.
We haven't talked about the lineup at all. I know we don't want to talk about it, but
let's do it real quick. What do we got? We got 1 minute left. You want to talk about it?
Well, at the bottom. I'm just curious.
What don't you like?
I'm curious to what you all think about Rafael Ortega batting 3rd.
Well, it's because he's got a good matchup, right?
I mean,
good matchup, and he's been playing well. I've got a bigger problem with VR batting 6th.
He's having a better season than Christian Yelich. These are the facts.
Your guy VR batting 6th is a little high for my taste.
Yeah, considering Horner's batting 7th, yeah, I don't like it. I thought Rivas had a really nice game on Saturday. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I think Rivas should be hitting ahead of VR personally too. It should be VR and Hayward at the bottom, like in my personal opinion. But he has great numbers against JT Brubaker.
Speaking of, I remember I was listening to Corey and Brendan's. I think it was a Thursday podcast. And they were ranting about how it was VR, Hayward, and Simmons at the bottom of the order.
In that Thursday game, the last the game that got swept.
Like, hey, you're just giving it away.
Man. That's a whole inning worth of outs right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh well.
and Joey is building his own for Hayward. Who you got?
It's good because this one I don't have to update every day. I can just put Hayward on there. We just leave it.
It's always the first one.
What's the Jason Hayward connection to New York? There's a reason Joey's picking Jason Hayward every time, and it has something to do with New York. He's wearing a New York basketball shirt.
Maybe the Mets are looking at him.
Could be.
I will give the Mets Jason Hayward for honestly anything. Like, we will take a used washing machine for Jason Hayward.
Package him with Wilson Contreras to New York.
I would like to get some and more than just a used washing machine. Send us
but you
more
know what?
top prospects.
If you include him in that, they're about like, oh, you're taking the money, so you're probably getting less back actually than you would if you just trade Contreras.
That's true. So
yeah,
do not package Contreras
unless the Cubs eat some of that money. Then that kind of offsets it. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Some team's gonna need a right fielder that can play. Good defense.
Good defensive replacement,
Yeah.
For a team that's going to be playing in October.
Why do you think they keep batting Nico 7th? Why wouldn't you want him up a little bit higher than that?
I think he should be batting 5th or 6th at least. And there's those days where, you know, they give Contreras or Happ a day off. On those days, I feel like he should be batting anywhere between 2 and 5 as well. I don't know. I don't get it. I think if you had if they had signed Correa or someone like that to go with Nico in that middle infield, Nico would be having an even better season that he's having. So,
well, we'll see how it goes tonight. I feel like this is the night I turn around who you got. You know? Cubs start 16 straight, and I turn around who you got.
I hope that if I have to sacrifice my who you got pick, I hope Stuckey wins, because that means that Caleb Kilian came out and shoved it down the Pirates' throats and gave us all a chance to breathe, knowing that Caleb Kilian is something.
I found a way to get everybody to root for my guy.
That's fine.
I'm taking Kilian.
There you go.
Cubs and Pirates. Hey, thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs pregame show presented by PointsBet. We're coming back after the game. We hope you're going to be here. We hope it's in about 2.5 hours and not 5 or 6.
Yeah, at least.
And look at this. Jack says 20 strikeouts for Kilian. That would
nice.
That would be something. That would be nice.
That would be considered shoving, I think.
That would be a shove special. Yeah. All right. Hope to see you on the post game show. Have a good night.